Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry.
And I'm Irene.
We have some work to do in the greenhouse today, and while Irene's getting going on that, I'm going to go out and start moving water into the barrels in here so we can water things when it gets colder.
Right. When it gets colder?
Yes, when it freezes.
We're almost out of water in here, so we just need to refill the barrel, and he's got to refill his stuff for hydroponics. So we've got a bunch of moving around to do today, and we're just going to get going. Oh, messy.
Yeah.
I combed my hair before I came out again.
The wind was blowing outside.
Oh, I know. I looked in the mirror and went, ah, that's scary. But I was standing right in front of the fan before.
So what all did you get done in here while I was outside pumping water?
Mostly it was just cleanup. I was, I got a couple more plants transplanted from the solo cups up to the regular sized pots.
Did you do 4 pots? 3, these 3 here, I think.
4, yeah. I did 4 of these 10-gallon guys. And then I started cleaning up the Thai basil. I had already pruned it back once or twice, and I've been harvesting out the nicest bits. I've done that a couple of times. Looking at a small jar of dried leaves in the grocery store for $8 the other day inspired me.
Yeah, it's funny how those retail prices bring you back to reality.
Yeah, well, I've got these things come in a pack of seeds, and the seeds are the size of pepper grains.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't have more of them, but
little pieces of pepper, not the actual grain of pepper.
oh, not a full size thing of pepper. No, these are like that when you shake it out of a pepper shaker. Those little
Right.
dots, that's how big these seeds are. So, I tried to plant as few as possible, but I still wound up with, more than I wanted. I gave some away. Next year, I want to have 1 or 2 in here probably, and some more out in the garden. I think they were incredible in terms of the smell and stuff. So, and the flowers. So they have got.
I think the bees.
Yeah,
I think the bees going to be really happy with them.
And I'm thinking about converting parts of that center bed to mostly herbs. Nothing really seems to like to grow there except herbs. So I'm just I think I'm just going to give up and grow herbs. So,
bow to the inevitable.
Yeah, just don't fight that battle. So I'm going to take care of that. Oh, we harvested some of the peppers. I'm going to harvest some more.
I think we got most of the peppers
off of this guy.
Yeah.
We got most of the peppers off of this. You missed 1 or 2 on the back here. But I'm not sure they're worth harvesting. There's a little one there. I can add that to my collection. I have to decide what I'm going to do with this. It's got some new leaves on it.
Now this is Genovese.
That's Genovese basil, yeah.
Yeah, it smells great.
It does. The problem is that it generally changes flavor once it's blossomed.
Yeah, once it starts blossoming and putting on seed, then
yeah, it changes flavor. So it's still good, but it's not as good as when it's fresh and wonderful.
Well, we have 2 plants started in the house. That's when I rooted those that you brought in for the caprese salad the other day. They're rooted, they're potted up.
Yeah, so I may just ditch this guy. We'll see. I'm trying to think if I have another one in here somewhere. This may be the last one I have in here. I had hoped, and I realized I totally spaced on drying some basil this summer, and it was really too late by the time I remembered.
Some of these new leaves are looking pretty decent now.
They are, but it by the time you get to the second leaf, they're not looking decent anymore. So I think this has just got the end of year funk. Genovese basil is particularly susceptible to several diseases, and I've been debating whether I was going to choose a new variety next year that's a Genovese type and supposedly has the same flavor, but is more resistant to funk. That's a technical term, funk.
Well, this variety of Genovese has done very well for us, actually, over the years.
It has. The problem is you have to do succession planting with it because and one of the nice things about letting it do its thing in the garden is that it tends to pop up at different times. It doesn't all come on at the same time. But so we actually had a couple that popped up right at the end there, and I meant to harvest them before we had a hailstorm, which I didn't know because it wasn't on the forecast. And they just got the stuffings knocked out of them by the hailstorm, so that was kind of the end of that one. They did not get frozen. They got the stuffings beat out of them. And so then they were all bruised and yucky, so I just couldn't do anything with those.
Well, maybe if we give these plants another shot of fertilizer over the next week or 2, we might be able to get some more growth in the grow tips, and we might be able to dry some of that.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not super hopeful because, see, this is pretty close to the grow tips. You see that already there.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah, I know.
these
Some of
looking
them are
pretty good.
okay, and I'm hoping that getting better airflow down here will help and stuff like that, because that Thai basil had gotten to the point where it was obstructing airflow. I don't think I have. I was trying to think if I had any other regular Genovese, and I think the answer is no.
No.
I might have a seedling. Let me check. I pruned the heck out of this guy.
Now, is that a Genovese over there?
That's a Genovese.
So we have at least one more. You want to
This guy.
check to see how we are in framing?
A little cockeyed. Woo, we're on the side of it. Yeah, yeah. Yes, that's exactly the way you looked. You look like you were standing on a sharp hill.
I was. You know what time I think it is?
Yeah, I think it's time to say good evening, good night, good morning, good something. So until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because obviously we have lots going on in here. I've been letting the green beans go because I'm going to see if I can get any seed off of them.
I'm pretty sure we'll get some seed as
Well,
long as
I'm
it doesn't
debating.
freeze.
See, there's two things going on. I may have another package of seed.
Yeah, it's worthwhile letting these go to dry beans.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking, but then I'm also dealing with space, the final frontier.
We'll find a way to have that set of beans out of the way so we can bring other things in.
It's not just that, it's also containers.
I think I can make more containers available.
Yeah, so
You know what? In fact, I think I'm going to build a small wicking tote so that I can show people how they can start having a small grow space in their home or their garage or wherever, and they can size it up by getting a different size tote.
Right. We have a whole selection of totes, all the way from about that size up to about, actually we've got some that are that size. So yeah, I don't like the really gigantic ones because they don't tolerate the torque that if you move them. But anything this size or smaller is fine. And it depends on what you're growing as to what's a good choice. I mean, we've got one of these size totes here, over here, that's full of Sunkyo radishes, with a radish every 2 inches in the whole thing. So it's like a whole field of radishes in that one thing.
Well, hopefully you like those radishes.
We'll find out soon. I'm not thrilled with the way some of the stuff is growing, and I've got to figure out why. I don't know whether, I think the soil is compacting too much. In other words, you have an inch, or you think you have an inch over the top of it, and then it compacts more than regular soil does in the garden, and you wind up with less so that it does funky things.
We'll go inside and try them. You know what time it is?
Yes. They're already liking, subscribing, and hit the thing, that notification bell. So we just need to say bye.
Keep brainstorming. She does.
All the time.